So how you doing?
I'm well. I'm very well.
Sorry about your the challenge and all of that.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. You recollect that we were still chatting. Was it like a month ago when I was telling
Yeah,
you?
yeah, but 5th of July, and I said it was my birthday.
Yeah, yes,
Yes,
it was your birthday. Yeah, you told me.
yes, yes,
Very interesting.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
what's the experience like? What really happened?
Well, around the 24th of June, I had what I thought was malaria, you know.
Okay.
And I just went to the neighborhood pharmacy and bought Quantum and ibuprofen, thinking that that would just. I mean, I'm not a sickler. I rarely have malaria anyway, you know.
Okay.
So I just thought I could just wave it off and all that. And for 3 days, I was a little bit feverish and all that. But on the third day, I felt better, because I just finished the drugs and I felt better, and that fell into a Saturday. So on Saturday evening, I felt feverish a little bit again. You know, I just thought maybe the residue of the malaria was still hanging in and all that. So I just let it fly, you know. And on Sunday evening, I was about to go to my lounge to see what was happening there. So I took a bath and used my perfume and I used my body spray. And I found out that I couldn't smell. I'm a perfume lover, so
Okay.
I use very strong perfumes. So I took another bottle of perfume and I used it, and I still couldn't smell it naturally. So I now put my nose to my clothes, and I still didn't smell what I put on my clothes, you know. Then I knew that there was something wrong somewhere. You know, I knew this can't be this can't be nothing, you know. So the first thing I did, because I'm a firm believer in Google, was to check loss of smell on Google. And the first thing that came out was COVID. That COVID, if you have COVID, you have loss of smell. You might also experience loss of taste. You lose your taste bud. So I said, well, if that is it, then maybe I should try and taste something. So I went into the kitchen, made myself a cup of tea. Twinny is a very, very tasty tea. So I I did a cup of tea and I tasted it and I couldn't taste it. I could not have a taste of the tea. I put some honey in it again, maybe it will help me taste it. And I couldn't taste it. At that point, I knew there was something wrong somewhere. So I stayed at home. I didn't go out again. Waited till Monday morning, and I went to see my doctors. When I got there, explained to the doctor that I've had malaria in the past few days. I treated it, and it seems like it's coming back, but this time it's coming back in another way. I'm having headaches now, and I can't taste, neither can I smell anything. And my doctor said, okay, he prescribed, he did some consultancy, then just prescribed vitamin C and some other drug for me. So I just took that. But in within my heart, I had a feeling that this must be COVID, but he wasn't sure, so he didn't say anything. So when I left the hospital, I Googled the nearest. I asked him where I could get tested, and I said I should go to Yaba. And I said, where in Yaba? I said, doesn't know the place, but it's Nigeria Institute of Research or Medical Research or something like that. So I said, well, I checked on Google again. As I said, I'm a firm believer in Google. I checked on Google to find out the closest place I can do a test.
Okay.
Google test. And they said I could do, Google said I could do one at your local government. So I went straight, because I live on Adeniyi Jones. So I
Okay.
drove straight to Ikeja local government, and I met with some gentleman called Sheriff, who took all my details and in front of me forwarded it to the Ikeja unit, COVID unit, and said to me that they're going to contact me in less than 24 hours. And that was like before 12 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So the next day, I waited till like 3 o'clock and there was no call from anybody. And I was, at that time, the headache was severe. I already had body pains and then weakness of the body. And I knew this thing was getting into me. I knew that something was getting wrong somewhere. That was Tuesday already, you know. So Tuesday. I called this man. I called this gentleman up. I said, well, it's over 24 hours. I haven't heard from your people. Can you please call them? I don't mind to go and meet them anywhere they are. I need to do this test ASAP. I want to know what is wrong with me. And he said, okay, we'll get back to me. When he got back to me in about 30 minutes, he said that, well, one person in that unit contacted the virus. So they have isolated everybody in the unit. I said, wow. I said, so what am I supposed to do? He said, tomorrow morning, which was Wednesday the 1st of July, I should go to Akunwojo Primary School. Like there's a test unit there. So as early as 8:30, I was in Akunwojo waiting for the test unit. They didn't get there till around 11. And you know, yes. And they got there around 11. While I was there, I called him. He gave me a number of one of the people that was probably working there or something. I was calling the person, and we're coming, just wait there. People were waiting, and a lot of people were waiting there. Although I was the first person to get there, or I was the first person to stay there, because I knew they were coming, because I called, and they said they were on their way. So that people started coming in, and I told them that they're the way that they should wait. So when they eventually got there around 11, it took them, you know, I'm sorry to say, very nonchalant attitude. They were just sluggishly setting up, and you know, and I walked up to the lady that was there, and I said to her that, Madam, people are getting sick, people are feeling sick. The least you could do is, I mean, tell us what to do. You haven't said anything to anybody. You just came in, parked your car. Well, imagine that you're trying to set up. Said, yes, we're setting up. You guys go and wait. So I went to wait. Later, we did the test, and I asked the woman, after doing the test, we're told to leave. And I went back to the woman, leave. How do I get my result? He said, oh, you have left your email address. We'll email it to you in 72 hours, between 72 hours and a week. I said, 72 hours and a week. That's when I'll get my result back. I said, Madam, that is long. That people will die. There was no advice, either from my doctor or even the NCDC staff, as regards to isolation, or these are things you can use for now, or some advice that will even keep you going for now till you get your result. You know, there was no, they were nonchalant about the whole thing. But I had a severe headache, and I wasn't feeling too well with myself. So I just thought to myself, Yamakubai. That same afternoon, I started coughing. I started coughing, and I knew that it has gotten to the next level, you know. So what I did was, because my older sister is married to Professor Tokpalunge, who is in charge of COVID in Oyo State, I said to myself, maybe I should call Professor and find out, tell him what I feel, and have him tell me what he thinks I have. Because if I'm going to be waiting for this result, it's probably going to take so long, and I pray I don't die in the process of waiting. So I called Professor Tokpalunge, who eventually, when I told him how I felt, he said, Wale, he is in charge of COVID in Oyo State, and he's one in charge of all the isolation centers in Oyo State, as in the full state. When I told him how I felt, he said, "Wale, I think you have COVID." I said, "Sir," I said, "I think you have COVID. Now, I hope you've been in isolation." I said, "Yes. My wife and my children are not around, so I'm home alone." So, because of the way I felt, I also thought about it that it was COVID. So I've not left the house. I've gone to the hospital. I've also gone to do a test. You know, he said, "What was the result?" I said, "I haven't gotten the result of the test." He said, "I just did it on that same day." He said, "Okay, you know what you should do? First, I'm going to send you a text with a number of drugs you should get. Apart from that, make sure that you boil water, put rub in the water, cover your head tight in it for at least 5 to 10 minutes every morning and night." I said, "Okay, sir." He also said that I was speaking with himself and my sister. So my sister interjected saying that I should get ginger, garlic, and lemon, make it into paste. That is, scrape the body, put it in a blender, blend it into a paste. Then regularly take some, put hot water, put some into a mug, add hot water and a little bit of honey, and drink regularly. Hot, drink it hot. So I started doing that. My brother-in-law sent me a list of drugs to take. My brother-in-law, being Professor along there, sent me a list of drugs that they wanted me to take. Most importantly, wanted me to buy 1,000 milligrams of. Wanted me to buy vitamin C. I should take 1,000 milligrams morning, 1,000 milligrams at night. You know, and I should buy vitamin D, zinc, hydrochloroquine, a list of drugs. You know, it gave me a list of drugs to buy. So I bought all those drugs. I didn't buy them. I sent them to my younger brother, who was good enough. He was helpful enough to run around and go. Guess what? Getting these drugs.
Sorry?
Getting these drugs was close to impossible.
Was impossible?
Getting this drug close to impossible.
Close to impossible.
Yeah, they've cleared all the drugs. Now, can I lie to you now? I bought hydrochloroquine for 7,500 naira.
7,500.
2 weeks ago. Yes, 2 weeks ago. Another cousin of mine called me 2 days ago that I think he thinks his wife is coming down with COVID. That what are the things I used? So I gave him the list of drugs. When he got to the pharmacy, he had to call me to say, "Did I say hydrochloroquine?" I said, "Yes." He said, "How much did I buy it?" I said, "I bought it for 7,500." He said, "Egbon, it's now 33,000 naira."
33,000 naira.
Then
we're in trouble in this country.
It's not 33,000. That packed all the drugs off the shelf. Maybe hospitals have packed them so that they can sell them to their patients or whatever. I don't know, but they had to come by. All those drugs had to come by. Anyway, I stayed in isolation, and I was judiciously using all those drugs and maintaining sure this. I was isolated anyway, so I wasn't going anywhere. I was in the house alone, and I was using my drugs regularly. My family did a lot during that period. My brothers and sisters were calling morning, afternoon, and night to be sure that I was okay. Anytime I put up my phone, they got very angry. Like, oh, now. And I said, I needed to sleep. You guys were calling. I wasn't able to rest. I needed to put up my phone so I can rest. They said, "Okay, please, you know what? Put your phone on silent. So when it rings, we know it's still. It's still." I said, "Okay, I'll try that." You know, but basically that's how it's been 3 weeks and 5 days, 3 weeks and 4 days or thereabouts. I haven't gotten the result from NCDC.
NCDC.
No. But I did another test with a private hospital. Lagos State approved private hospital. I got the result in 24 hours. I got the result in 24 hours. That said I'm negative now. You know, I did that test on Wednesday. I got results on. I did the test on Thursday. I got the test on Saturday morning.
Mm.
I said I'm negative. You know, and I praise God that during that period I was able to get myself together, get myself up, make food for myself, because these drugs, like vitamin C, you need to eat to use 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Otherwise, it's acidic. It can actually harm you, especially if you are an ulcer patient. You know, so all these things. I mean, it was for me. It was a trying time. For a whole week, had a severe headache, morning, afternoon, night, and midnight. I was sleeping and I could feel my head aching. It never happened to me in my life, you know. And I just thought, after that experience that I went through, I thought I should make it public.
Yes.
I should let people know that one, you can survive this thing. People, while I was on my bed, I learned of a couple of friends of mine that died, including Tunde Brimo, you know. So I said to myself, you know, one day, man, anytime I hear that somebody was dead, I'll get up from the chair and I'll use something, you know. My wife also advised that I did dongoyaro. So I was also drinking dongoyaro for the fever. I was filling my stomach with all sorts of drugs, and I was trying my best to eat. You know. But you know what? We thank God, I'm here. I've done another test that says I'm negative, but it doesn't mean that I'm fully ready. I'm still isolating slowly. I'm not yet out there because I'm still using my drugs, but I want to be perfectly okay. I still feel a little bit down. I have slight headaches sometimes. I have stomach upsets sometimes. Yes. And I think it's based because of the amount of drugs I use in 1 week. I used too many drugs. I drank too many things, you know. I'm trying to kill this, you know. And I thank God.